For a game as niche as ARMS, you'd think merch is pretty much non-existent. However, thanks to the research I did for this video, I realized just how much there is to collect. I think there's something in here for every ARMS fan. It's quite a sizable amount, so let's see what merch ARMS has to offer. Now, personally, I've been slowly but surely building my own small collection as a huge ARMS fan and because I love these items and I think they're really cool. Just prepare to hear me say the word cool a lot in this video. So, when talking about merch, pre-order bonuses are always a good place to start. These vary per region, so we actually got some variety here, and since I'm not completely sure on which region each item came from, I'll limit myself to only mention the region when I'm sure about it. The most popular pre-order bonuses are definitely the ARMS Fan Pack and Keyring Keychain. The Fan Pack is a glove-shaped stress ball, and the other one is, well, a keychain. They may not look as ARMS themed as other items on this list, but the next item sure is. As Korea's pre-order bonus, they gave away an ARMS themed gym towel. I do actually think the design of this looks really cool, having the ARMS logo and the fighter logo pattern surrounding it. Definitely one of the weirder ones, but considering how much of a push they were giving to motion controls at the time, it makes sense. The next pre-order bonus is this magnet featuring the box art of the game. Not much to say here, just a pretty cool looking collector's item. Another very common pre-order bonus is the ARMS sleeve pair, with Springman and Ribbon Girl designs. Finally, these sticky labels were Hong Kong's pre-order bonus. The design in them is fantastic, but it honestly makes me want to keep them and not write on them. Now that we're done with the pre-order bonuses, I want to tackle another category of merch, the pre-release pins. I'm not entirely sure if I'm listing all the existing pins, so be sure to let me know if I'm missing any. The ones I could find though are the launch demo pin, which is very similar to the magnet in design. This 6-pack of pins given out at E3 2017 featuring the OG5 and the game's logo. And finally, possibly the sickest pin given out at E3, the title logo pin. This one's very small, but I'd love to have it in my collection. I'm not really sure what it is about this last one, but I really like it a lot compared to the others. Now let's take a look at the merch that released after the game came out. First off, and possibly the most popular piece of ARMS merch, is the 2018 Free Comic Book Day preview of ARMS Volume 1 Contenders. This was and still is a godsend to me. It gives us a sense of how ARMS' story might have played out. The comic follows the main character of ARMS, Springman, with some exposition dialogue on how the ARMS ability and masks work, but most importantly, how the title of Springman is given to an individual after an intense trial period. This comic is also our only look at the second Springman, so thanks to this, we more or less know who's held the title of Springman through the generations. We can also see a glimpse of New York in the ARMS universe and what possibly is my favorite ARMS gene related gag, the real-life Slinky Dog. We all know what happened to this planned comic series unfortunately, and I really think that whatever else was produced for this is the most wanted piece of ARMS merch for any fan. It's probably stored out there somewhere. What I like the most about this comic is that it doesn't really conflict with any established lore, and in fact, complements it. This just really comes to show how much untold story there is for ARMS, so I really hope they give ARMS 2 a proper story mode. The other piece of ARMS literature is the ARMS Sugo Ude Gog Fight manga. This GOG manga follows Springman's shenanigans across the ARMS world, meeting all the fighters while being accompanied by Ribbon Girl and Biff. A small trailer was even made for it. There isn't really an English translation, so I can't really get into plot details, but I love the chibi illustrations so much. Springman's depiction here has to be my favorite thing about it. He's an absolute goofball. I feel like his canon personality would fall in a sweet spot between his personality in both comics, maybe leaning into the more serious side. These two items I just mentioned are absolute must-haves for any ARMS fan in my opinion, but unfortunately, like a lot of the merch here, it's really hard getting your hands on them. Moving on to the next one, Including this on the list was a no-brainer, and while it's not ARMS merch directly, it still kinda is in my opinion. The neon yellow Joycons were released alongside ARMS to promote the game, and I actually think these were the third pair of Joycons ever released. Nintendo rarely does special Joycons nowadays, but seeing ARMS get Joycons early on was great. I own these as well, more of a collector's thing because I don't really use Joycons anymore. This one is also not directly ARMS merch, but at the same time it literally is ARMS merch. Ever since an ARMS rep was announced to be joining Smash, the idea of us finally getting a full character figure in the form of an amiibo excited me a lot. The Min Min amiibo came out one day before my birthday on April 29th, 2022, and at least to me, it felt like an indirect birthday gift. I gotta say, Min Min's amiibo is insanely well crafted. I can just tell that a lot of care went into her inclusion in Smash. This next one's another Japan exclusive. The box art keychain is really cool because you can actually store your cartridge inside of it. ARMS also had some DIY printables. This Biff origami came with an instruction video on how to build it. And we also had printable arms for your pencils. A trend you're probably seeing by now is that Japan got really lucky with all the ARMS merch, as most of these items were exclusive to Japan. Speaking of which, items seen in Japanese gashapon include the Air Punch mascot series, which included Toaster, Megaton, Sparky, and Homie inflatables, and an even cooler ARMS keychain series featuring detailed keychains of the arms used by the main five. These keychains are currently the newest addition to my collection. I was actually really surprised to get the entire series in a single package, as I had only ordered the Springman one. I got really lucky with this one. Another item I also own is the ARMS Nintendo Switch carrying case. I really sought after this one for the longest amount of time. It just has a really cool design with the weapon pattern. I am seriously obsessed with this pattern, just look at the background of my videos. Not to mention, this has the toaster arm as a zipper, which means this is another Springman related product. I just keep winning. Now let's take a look at ARMS apparel. Here's what we got in America. Yeah, it isn't much, but at least we got something. I'm pretty sure that everything pictured here is all Nintendo New York offered, which would be an ARMS League hoodie, a gray Ribbon Girl shirt, a red Springman shirt, and a black ARMS logo shirt. Outside of pre-order bonuses, the Joycons, and the Smash related stuff, I think this is the only piece of ARMS merch we got over here in America. Now, moving on to Japan again, we got this Fighter Badge sticker sheet from a tournament called Spring Fist in 2018. These were actually given at the tournament venue. Really cool thing to have, honestly. And while on the topic of badges, real life-size badges were actually given to people who bought this ARMS t-shirt from King of Games in Japan. And honestly, this has to be one of the coolest designs for ARMS apparel out there. I'd honestly love to own this myself as well. It's important to mention that the badge given with this was random. And by the way, if you're wondering what I think is the coolest piece of ARMS merch out there, don't worry, I'll show it later on. With this, I'll start a whole new section of merch, the tournament exclusive merch. Most of the items listed here were actually obtainable, while others weren't for some reason. It's important to note that what I mean by obtainable is that these items were given to tournament winners in Japan, or even attendees. So anyways, the prime example of why wasn't this a thing we could buy is this Biff Amiibo-like figure. Now, this one is pretty funny to me. These were seen on the Japan Grand Prix 2018 broadcast, and they even made a tweet showing them off, just for them to be like, "Hey guys, look at this very cool Biff figure. We know you guys might like this. It is very cool like we said, but it's not for sale." I'm totally not suffering right now. Yabuki's hoodie is another prime example of unobtainable merch, and contrary to popular belief, this one was not exclusively made for him, as we can see another person with the exact same hoodie design. Which leads me to think that maybe this was given to the development team? I'm not sure, but I think it's absolutely hilarious how this man has not been seen without that hoodie after ARMS launched. Fun fact, he was also seen with an ARMS themed cap as well. This one was probably part of a set with the hoodie. But would you actually believe me if I told you that there are different variants of the Yabuki hoodie? I was able to spot 5 variants, featuring designs based on Springman, Mechanica, Min Min, Helix, and Kid Cobra. But I wouldn't be surprised if all the cast has a themed hoodie. More stuff with ARMS logos were given at events as well, like this dark blue variant of the ARMS League hoodie and this neon yellow version of the ARMS logo t-shirt. There's also another ARMS hoodie design. Finally, some t-shirts with the ARMS logo were given to tournament winners. These also have the name of the tournament written on them. Now, it is time for me to show you what is possibly the coolest piece of ARMS apparel. This jacket was given to the winner of the ARMS Japan Grand Prix in 2018, making it truly one of a kind. As a huge ARMS fan, it is really hard to not look at it and immediately want it, but it's only fair that such a cool item was given to the winner of a huge tournament. Regardless, this is truly a sight to behold. And that would be about it for ARMS merch, that I'm aware of at least. There's still so much one-of-a-kind stuff out there, however, like the custom illustrations for tournament winners, and the trophies and certificates given out as well. Heck, there's even also been a lot of real-life champion belts. I also have a lot of custom ARMS stuff made by my best friend X-Blade, like this Min Min canvas, 2 birthday illustrations, a Bifrock which he actually made as an art class project in school, an ARMS logo shirt, and even this cap decoration I wore to my high school graduation. So now I'd love to know, do you guys own any ARMS merch, official or custom? Or do you have any new favorite items you'd love to obtain? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe for more ARMS content.